Oh, yeah, kids. I'm getting some weird error message. Can you guys hear me? I don't even know if this is working now. Can someone in the chat tell me if this is working? Amagi. All right, what's up, guys? What's up? So basically, nights like tonight, I'm like a little kid before Christmas '92, hoping to get that shiny bike. That's what this feels like as an adult. This is the closest I could get to that level of, I guess, anticipation and excitement. I'm sure some of you are kind of the same way, but that is the only even remotely close kind of feeling like that. And it's the night before the playoffs, guys. Your New Jersey Devils, despite a rocky road to get here, it wasn't smooth sailing for this New Jersey Devils club. No. We were navigating some choppy ocean waters, but your New Jersey Devils guys are here. The playoffs are about 16 hours away for puck drop game 1 in Raleigh. The Devils looking. Oh, they're looking for that magical 4th Stanley Cup in franchise history. And despite all the naysayers, despite the negativity, despite all of the picks against us, quite frankly, and I'll get to that in a little bit. I mean, to nobody's surprise, and, again, I'll talk about this more in depth later, but the whole world picking against the Devils, obviously, they're human beings. They see this stuff, and they're well aware that they are a massive dog in the series. However, my friends, if you could see the thumbnail of this video, it's a very plain and simple one, and it's Jacob Markstrom in that beautiful white road jersey staring down a shooter with that snarling devil with the teeth, and that's what Carolina is going to see. They're going to see the intimidating Jacob Markstrom, hopefully playoff monster, just in the crease, the devil staring at him. And Marky is the X factor, guys. Our chances of winning the series lie in the hands of one Jacob Markstrom, and I like our chances. If this team could give him any sort of support, these are the moments. These are the moments that guy like Marky lives for. Give me any sort of competitive team in front of me, and I will give you a chance to go on a run. We're going to see what he could do. Obviously, the team has flaws. I do believe if they play closer to the level of the team we obviously saw in spurts throughout the season, that they have as good of a chance as anyone. Why not us? We have Marky and net. And a lot of teams sucked going into the playoffs. Not that it makes me feel much better. It makes me feel like a hair better. That there was tons of teams just on horrible slides going into the playoffs. I think Dallas lost some insane amount of games. I mean, maybe not the best example given the circumstances. What are they down 2-0 right now going into the third? But the point is, a lot of teams that were good throughout the year did this kind of, avoid injury approach. And you saw some terrible results from these teams. But once the playoff spot was locked in with nothing to change, meaningless games, right, guys? Just throw them away. It is unfortunate for people that pay full money for that. I always get so pissed about that. Fans getting screwed. But anyway, in Marky we trust. The series lies in the hands of Jacob Markstrom. And I would say probably the special teams as well. I do think special teams, that's a huge X factor in the series, obviously, to nobody's surprise. And I do think if we could see that, top 3 team in both departments, both the power play and penalty kill, your New Jersey Devils have as good of a chance as anyone to win the series. And if they do get out of this first round, you guys already know my imagination is going to run wild. But I can't help but, strongly believing that. Should they get through a battle with Carolina and get to the Eastern Conference semifinals, I would certainly be picking them to win that round. Your New Jersey Devils. But I wanted to see what you guys are talking about in a minute. My buddy sent me this list, and it was like 24 people. I think 6 picked the Devils. Yeah, tons of people. I don't know who a lot of these people are, but I'll read names that I know. John Butchergross, Canes in 7. Ryan Callahan, former New York Rangers scum, Hurricanes in 5. Shout out to Linda Cohn, Devils in 7. Ray Ferraro's got the Canes in 6. Emily Kaplan, Hurricanes in 7. Steve Levy, another ESPN personality, going Devils in 7. I like some of these picks. Bob Wischusen, Canes in 6. Greg Wisnowski, or however the hell you say that, Hurricanes in 6. Messier picks Hurricanes in 7. The point is, the hockey world is primarily on the Hurricanes in this series, and I would love nothing more than your New Jersey Devils to just bounce these guys once and for all. For those of you that have been fans for a long time, I've obviously talked about this a bunch, but the previous history of the Hurricanes owning the Devils so much, it just it's been 24 years since we beat the playoffs in the Canes series, beat the Canes in a playoff series. They've beaten us 4 times in a row in staggering ways. All right, let's see what you guys. Thank you everyone for confirming there. Jeter Toker, this team has a lot to prove. And Jeter Toker, very fair point. I cannot say anything short of you are 1,000% correct. They do have a lot to prove. We saw flashes of greatness. We saw heavier, edgier, more violent in the beginning of the season or earlier in the season. Teams seem to respond well. Physicality at an all-time high. We're in scraps. We're in scrums. Mitts are getting dropped. Guys are getting pummeled. Bench is fired up. It was a beautiful, beautiful era of Devils hockey that we saw in little spurts there. We saw that NHL record-setting defense, 7 straight games, 20 shots or less by the opponent. I mean, this is NHL record-setting. Anytime you set an NHL record in anything, especially a multi-game kind of stat, 7 game. I mean, it's not like, a single game kind of fluke stat. That's like a, continuation of dominance, if you will, over a decent stretch of hockey. That is historic NHL record. But where is that team? Can we see that team for the majority of some of these games? And if we do, defense wins championships, guys. It's very corny. It's very cliche, but it's true. Defense wins championships. And obviously I'll include in the defense, as part of that overall unit is a goalie. You got to stifle the other team's offense, and your D and your goalie could get it done. And that's the multi-million-dollar question. Will that team ever show up at any point? And is that magical switch that we've talked about for about a week and a half now, does that magical switch exist? Can they flip it and all of a sudden show us shades of these former versions of this year's Devils club? The good version, the version that so many of us so desperately miss. Can we see those guys again? Because most of the guys are here. Now, obviously, yes, Jack Siegenthaler not in the lineup. But again, this is the New Jersey Devils, not the New Jersey Hughes. If you believe your team should start tanking or mail it in to try to get a higher draft pick because your star player is out or any one player is out, then I hate to tell you that's an indictment of where your team was to begin with. If you're going to just mail in a season or just give up on a team when one guy goes down, even if it is your star player, shame on that team then. That was a poorly constructed team if you believe one man is going to ruin the entire thing. That should never be the case, and I don't believe that's the case with this Devils club. I do think we're going to see some amazing games, hopefully an amazing series, but I think you're going to see a couple big games out of Timo Meier. I'm hoping. I think he's going to be out there trucking guys. He is that Claude Lemieux light for the longtime fans. Agitator, physical guy that could score. I mean, he is the closest thing we've had to Claude probably since Claude. And it's again, no disrespect to Timo, but it's still a far cry from Claude, but it's a dialed down version. I'll take it. The league doesn't have too many of those guys with that level of skill. And that's one of the many reasons why I do think Timo Meier has been an absolute amazing addition to this club. And despite, not getting the however many points a lot of you people wanted him to get, one of the most valuable players on this Devils club, and he's going to show it to you in the playoffs. Oh, baby, he is going to show it to you in the playoffs. Looking for a monster performance from Timo. I'm hoping to see, goals, assists, hits. I want to see him, face washing guys with the glove. I want to see Timo just in everybody's kitchen, crashing the crease. He needs to be an absolute just beast for this team. And then obviously the other one a lot of people are waiting to see is, how is how is Bratt going to play in this playoff? A lot of people critical of his last playoff performance. And, the nature of the beast. Who's going to show up big time? But a lot of it is going to come down to as well, can the bottom 6 produce at any point? Can we get some goals from unexpected places? Because we're going to need a full team effort. But Jacob Markstrom, he's the biggest factor for me. And then we're going to need some of our big guys to be the big guys. And the depth guy's going to have to chip in. Gem Card, what's up, Ace? Ready for Connor to flatline Aho tomorrow. And I know how to spell Aho. I chose to spell it that way. Oh, so clever, Gem Card. But I'm looking for this team to come out there and start smashing people. If they from puck drop, it just, you immediately know that it's the heavier, edgier, more violent Devils. I will be ecstatic. I have my doubts and I have my reservations. But if somehow they drop that puck tomorrow and it's on and heavier, edgier, more violent is back, you know, no one on this planet's going to be happier than your boy Ace. I'll be going nuts. Random man, I'm shitting bricks. I feel like that excitement before the first home game. Oh, this playoffs guy, there's no regular season anything to me. This is what you play all year for. Playoffs is a different beast, a different level. There's no regular season games, even the big rivalry runs. Playoff hockey this is it now. This is what we do all year for now. Playoff hockey, first to get 16 wins, hoist the cup. Can the Devils do it again? But no, I definitely have a mix of excitement and, like, I guess some sort of kind of anxiety. It's big. It's once a year, right? It's like, okay, well, your run lasts however long it does, and then we'll see you in October when we try it all over again to get back to this point in April. Like, playoffs is a big deal, guys. We're here, and now they got to make the most of their chance. Todd Davis, what's going on? Canes fan watching my boy Ace. How you feeling tonight, Todd? You at least a little nervous, or are you one of these we're gonna steamroll them kind of guys? Jeter Tucker, I canceled Easter plans. I only watch games in my chair like in jet. I'm going to my mama's house for Easter, and she's heard there's going to be several Devils fans and sports fans in general in attendance, and so the Easter holiday is going to be become a Devils watch party, if you will, in a section of the home. But oh yeah, happy Holy Week, guys! Happy Easter to those to celebrate. Happy Passover to those to celebrate that. I hope I'm not missing anything. Those are the only two I'm aware of right now of Easter and Passover. So. Happy all that. Hope you have some sort of celebration, whatever it is that you do. Nicole, we're hosting Easter, and our entire family will be forced to participate in playoff hockey. Very nice. You better hope, this could be a good advertisement to become a New Jersey Devils fan. If somehow they put on a good, exciting show and win the game on the holy day, right? I mean, Nicole, you might be recruiting some new people into Devils Army. You got to do your best. Lobsty Markey sees everything. Jacob Markstrom, guys, he needs to stand on his head, and he's going to have to steal. I'm going to say straight up steal, like a complete theft of a game. I'm going to say Markey's going to have to give us one of those complete steals the series, and then there's going to have to be two where they'll fall short of calling stolen games, but they'll be what I would classify as heavily influenced by Markey games, where it's like you can't say he stole it, but big major role, and if he wasn't there, very questionable kind of thing. I think he's gonna have to have two of those heavily influenced games, a complete steal, and then I think I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm liking to think there's one game where it's not like super tight and the Devils win somewhat comfortably, where Markey didn't have to be at his best and they still win. But we'll see. I'm not greedy. I'll take the wins any way they come. Khalil, East Devils are. Come on, man. Why are you even here if you think that, Khalil? You really think that they have no chance? Come on, man. Smarten up, Buster. We got Jacob Markstrom. Do you see the thumbnail? Do you see what these Canes forwards and D-men are going to be skating in on? They are going to be seeing the scary Markey with that crazy devil with the teeth and the thing. Come on. Let's go. And especially if the heavier, edgier, more violent guys show up, we definitely got a chance. Vic, I believe Canes ain't all that. Everyone is so quick to point out the Devils' woes, but conveniently forget Carolina's. Yeah, didn't they lose like 8 out of... Exactly. I said this a couple minutes ago. So many teams, including the Canes, just started sucking with this whole new, I don't even know what I'm going to call it, right? But it's like, this didn't happen before. We're in an era now with the rest of the guys over the top and everything's gamesmanship and rest. And I don't like it at all. But, here we are. And so as a result, lots of other playoff teams, including the Canes, technically are going into the playoffs terribly with these horrible records. Vic, I believe Canes. I just read that one. Okay, I lost my spot there. 4 Devil, heavier, edgier, more violent. I want to see what Fitz was talking about when he claimed he was going to get that during the offseason. Well, 4 Devil, you already saw what he was talking about. You just didn't see it consistently enough. And your comment, I understand where you're coming from. I'm just as frustrated, but that's the one thing I will give Fitz credit for. And at the time, I gave him credit, and I've never backed away from it since. I thought he had a great offseason. During the offseason with all the acquisitions, trading, robbing Kovacevic from Montreal, finally dealing Holtz and including Schmid to get Cotter over here. And then you sign Dillon, you sign Pesci, sign Nason. Great offseason. I think a lot of pretty much all the deals worked out well, I thought, and all those guys had big roles in the season. And so you did see what he claimed he was getting. You saw it in some games. The heavier, edgier, more violent Devils were out there. Guys were chucking knuckles. We were in all little physical battles all over the ice. You saw that team, and they played pretty well. And not to beat another dead horse, but Curtis McDermott was in a lot of those games earlier in the season. But anyway, heavier, edgier, more violent Devils, we saw it. And so Fitz, I believe in that regard, his kind of vision was proven to be effective. But for whatever reason, the thing no one knows why or how and why it all came to a screeching halt at the Christmas break, but they just stopped. They just stopped, and can they come back? But they did exist once upon a time. And so to Tom Fitzgerald's credit, which hurts me to say sometimes, especially right now, I'm still seething from deadline day and lots of other egregious sins committed across the time length of the administration. But anyway, the pieces are there. Can they turn that up and start smashing people and playing that kind of hockey in the playoffs? I hope so. I hope that switch does exist. But again, if that switch did exist, why weren't they flipping it in some of the big games in February and March that we needed to win where they shit the bed? If that switch existed, I have to believe we would have flipped it then to get into the playoffs. Unless everyone was so certain. They were so certain that all those mathematicians were correct when they were saying, you guys all know, we've talked about this a million times, like it was probably for a few weeks, a month, maybe even 2 months, like the Devils' odds to make the playoffs, the percentage seemed so much more ridiculously high than like reality. It was like 92, 95. I feel like for the last 2 weeks, it was like 98, whether they won or lost the games. I'm like, this is just absurd. But maybe they, bought the headlines and like, we're just going to coast in and then miraculously turn it around in the playoffs. I hope that could exist. Random Dallas had huge injuries and getting thwacked. Yeah, Robertson. That's a big loss in the last regular season game. And so when you see stuff like that, more to the previous point, right? Oh, Stars lost a star player in game 82, and now they're struggling. And let's say they get knocked out in the first round. You already know what time it is. The narrative is going to be, we need to rest these guys. That is why all the teams, all the GMs are going to send the coaches. This is why we were resting guys. You see what could happen? You see what could happen? Because one guy got hurt, and I get it. I see both sides of it, but as a fan and to dress, people paying hard-earned money to go to a game. I've talked about this so much, but it's hard not to keep talking about it in some context when you're talking about this stuff. It's like, yeah, you're benching all these guys and people are paying their hard-earned money to see an NHL game, and they're seeing kind of an AHL game. The Stars are back 2-1. And so I don't think it's fair for that reason. But when you start talking about, guys not getting injured, I get that too. But I think there has to be a balance where, like, there has to be some sort of ratings of the players or something in terms of like star power. And this is so corny, but this is where we are, I think, where like you can only rest like half of your top ranked guys. Like, so just say for the Devils, if it was, if everyone was healthy and it was Jack, Bratt, Nico, Timo, like there should be a rule that in these meaningless games, you have to play at least two of them. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not saying that's, I'm saying something along those lines. There should be some sort of guardrail there so that you don't pay NHL ticket money to go see an AHL game. But anyway, I went on a tangent there. Trying to catch up on some of these comments. But yeah, to Robertson. Robertson gets hurt in game 82, and then the narrative is going to be Dallas lost in the first round because their star player was playing in game 82, and then, on and on we go. That just kind of validates the whole approach. So you're going to get used to this, guys. It sucks. I really don't recall a season where I remember it being this extreme with any team, never mind tons of teams. And so it is disappointing because this is going to be a practice you now see going forward, forever, essentially, where you're just going to see teams, do basically nothing once their playoff spot and opponent is locked in. You're going to see a bunch of shenanigans. Joe Mama, quite a few teams had a cold streak before the playoffs. Yeah, they're terrible. Lots of teams sliding in. Random Man, the difference between this round one and 2023 round one is that the Rangers were good but weren't cup favorites. Canes are a legit contender. If we could beat them, then we could beat anyone. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, there's only 16 teams left, right? Like, to me, and I've seen, lower seeded teams go on runs and win cups. Any team in the tournament is a legit contender. The question is, how legit are you? Are you second round legit? Are you conference finals legit? Are you cup champion legit? Or are you a cup finalist? You get to the cup and lose. But again, I put a big premium on defense and goaltending. And I do think those are departments where the Devils could really tighten up, and it could give them the advantage to win the series. Obviously, going to have to cut down on some mistakes. I was going to do another video, but I'm just lazy. I was looking at a bunch of the previous goals, and there is so many careless mistakes. And a lot of the goals the Canes scored against us this season, there was like a succession, like bad mistakes, multiple in a row that lead to a goal. So it's like if one out of the three of you guys eliminated the threat when you had the chance, it wouldn't have led to the goal. Like some of them are super sloppy. They got to get much sharper, especially in the D zone when the pucks are bouncing around and guys are trying to clear and just missing pucks or missing stick tie-ups. Like you can't. The play's got to die when you have the first chance. Kill the play immediately. Ryan, Dougie should be back tomorrow. Big Dougie's definitely going to be back tomorrow. Meadowlander, it's a foregone conclusion. The experts will be gone in 6 games. I think it's a closer matchup than everyone thinks. The big question is, can our defense stand up to their dump and chase? Yeah, and can our big time forwards get it going when they're trying to get shut down? But the forecheck at Carolina can be relentless. Oh, I skip that. And if our defense gets rattled, it could be a bad story. And obviously they just throw volumes of shots from everywhere. So, there's going to be at least a couple deflection and front goals that are going to drive me crazy. Guys just camping out and getting tips. I do think we lead the league in the have to. Tipped in front goals allowed. We got to be up there. And they're going to try it. They've scored a few of them on us this year. Same tactic. They're going to be doing it again. Hopefully we can clean out the crease a little bit. Oh, man, I can't wait to see I hope the refs pocket the whistle. For Devil, has there been any word on Siegs? Did we just forget him? He was on the ice the other day with some sort of equipment, some level of equipment. He wasn't like fully decked out into practice, and he may have been skating on his own. I forget, but like he's progressing. But you never know. It's all gamesmanship, right? I originally thought from a couple weeks ago, based on what the team was kind of saying in the tone, it seemed like both of them were done no matter how far this team went in the playoffs. And then we saw Dougie was on the ice. I feel like I practiced a couple weeks ago. And so you never know. Maybe they genuinely don't know themselves with the actual unpredictability of a healing timeline. Like, some things could take 2 weeks for some guys. It could take 8 for others. So if you have some fast healers, if you will, who knows? Maybe if they do get to the second round, I would have to believe we would have to get to at least the second round to see Siegenthaler, but who knows? Maybe he puts on some sort of bionic gear and enters the lineup, later in the series. At this point, we have no concrete info. Just kind of read between the lines, and your guess is as good as mine. If I had to bet on it, I would say we don't see him this playoffs, but I hope I'm wrong. Nicole, I feel like the majority of the NHL are counting us out. We have a lot to prove, but we've seen moments of greatness. We have, and we will all clutch onto those moments, even if they were oh so brief or fleeting moments. We saw a couple games here, a couple games there, a lot of, lulls in between. Can those heavier, edgier, more violent New Jersey Devils impose their will on a pretty damn good Carolina team? Now, again, are they the juggernaut? They're not the 80s Oilers by any stretch, right? They're not this dominant dynasty, but, they kind of remind me a little bit of the old school Devils in a way where at some points, people may feel like, oh, they're in a down year, but they're still dangerous. And that was the Devils program for years and years with Marty Stevens, Needs, with Uncle Lou at the helm. The Devils were pretty much a threat for a good 20 years. Some years obviously more potent than others, and that's obviously the same as the Canes. So a lot of people saying, yeah, this is a down year for them. But like those old Devils teams, they're definitely capable of winning any given series as well. Who is going to impose their will on who? And I'm hoping the Devils come out and literally punch them in the mouth like immediately. Don't wait till they take it to you and respond, because that's what we've seen a lot of times too. Like the other team will come out smashing, dictating the play. The Devils kind of fall on their heels, and then you kind of go down through that downward spiral like throughout the game. If the Devils come out and just start smashing, just come out like you want it. Come out like it's Game 7 of the Cup Finals every game. Injury be damned. Because it's the Cup, you got to throw your body in front of pucks, eat pucks. It's going to be crazy. You're going to see some crazy block shots. You're going to see some crazy hits. I can't wait. Yeah, I heard about Laviolette. I'm trying to catch up here. See, I talk too much and I fall behind. What's up, Paulie? Paulie Walnuts, it doesn't matter how we look getting into the playoffs. The only thing that matters is making the most of this opportunity, and that is correct. Can we see the best version of the New Jersey Devils this season that we've seen yet. I could only hope we do. Traveling Devils, zero reason the Devils can't win this if they play hard like they did against Florida earlier in the year, or like the 7-game stretch of 20 or less shots on goal. Put it together and they could go far. Absolutely agree. Can they put it together? There's just so many things that have to go right, but in the end, for me, it's clearly Jacob Markstrom. This is his moment. This is what he's wanted. His whole career, his whole MO is just give me a somewhat decent team and let me drag you. And Marky's going to have to do it big for us. And I think he's going to have a big game one, man. If the Devils can win the game tomorrow, winning game one, oh my God, the chatter would be so loud after. It's obviously the extreme nature of sports, right? And like sports commentary and whatever else. But if somehow the Canes lost tomorrow, oof. Gem card, I hate the Hurricanes with a passion. Everything about them. Beating them would almost be as good as a Stanley Cup. Nothing is almost as good as a Stanley Cup. Let's get that straight. But beating them would be a phenomenal feeling, obviously. A phenomenal feeling that a lot of us have been waiting over 2 decades to feel. I think, in my opinion, Lavian, a good coach, just rides the coattail success of the prior coach. I knew this would happen. I'd be curious to see if he gets another gig somewhere. He may. Ryan, Hamilton should be back tomorrow with Hughes picking his game up. How do you feel about our D going into the playoffs? It's your ideal D minus Siegenthaler. And so obviously I like it a good amount. I like it a lot, actually. I think Dumoulin's been very serviceable. He won that meaningless game for us in overtime, but I do, despite the, how we got him and the price we paid and everything, in the end, is he Siegenthaler? No, but I do think our defense with Dougie back is a lot more solid than before Dougie was back, when it was that rotating door of the, Chalowski for a couple games and Nemitz, Casey. Obviously I, take Dougie Hamilton a million times out of a million over any one of those guys. I have seen some absurd people. I believe it was on X. I can't remember, but I feel like, and I don't even like repeating such nonsense stuff, but I do feel like there was people like advocating to keep one of the kids in, either Casey or Nemitz, like over Dylan. Like crazy stuff I saw about the D. But the defense is as good as it's going to be minus Siegenthaler with Dumoulin in there. I like the D a lot. I was still somewhat confident in the D even without Dougie coming back, because for a while it seemed like he wasn't coming back. And I did think that either Casey or Nemitz, in a very crafty way could be used by Keefe to not get them exposed in a playoff and be good enough to win. But Dougie's back. I mean, it doesn't get much better, obviously, other than if Siegenthaler came back as well. But Dougie back is a huge, huge boost. Megan would love to take 2 in Carolina, but if we could split before coming back to NJ, I'm okay with that. Absolutely cannot get swept in Carolina. Could not agree more, Megan. You must, at worst case, get a split. Absolute must. Going down 0-2, that's over. Dig the grave, because it's over. You're not beating the Canes 4 out of 5. You're just not. And so, must come home with a split. And again, that's why I feel like the game one is just so huge. Because let's just say that if the Devils win game one, it's going to be a headline everywhere. Oh, wait, we might have a series. The Devils aren't going to get swept. Oh, my God, and all these people. And you're going to see all the headlines and the articles and all the nonsense. And if the Devils won that game, you see all that. And then it gets into the head of Carolina for sure, because they're going into game 2 thinking, oh, shit, we must win this game now. Because if you're Carolina, you can't go down 0-2 at home and then go to the Rock. I mean, down 0-2, I can't even imagine. If somehow, let me just tell you guys, if somehow the Devils went up 2-0, I would, again, I'm not going to celebrate over the top until a series is won, obviously. But there's going to be mini celebrations after every game. And if you were up 2-0, that doubt is full blown in Carolina's mind now. And now they're thinking, this is down 2-0. That's a great spot to be if you're the Devils, to put them in that 2-0 hole. But on the flip side, now, if the Devils lose game one, does all the echoes and the noises get louder in their head with the, are we outmatched? I guess it also depends a lot on how the game is played. Like if you're, a close game loss versus like a blowout loss is very different. So that's a variable as well, for sure. But you know, you lose game 1 as the Devils, and now you go into game 2 thinking like, oh shit, this is a must win for us. Equally, even though we're going home, you know, we can't go down 0-2. That's not a good situation to be in for this Devils team. And so I do believe whoever loses game 1, whether it's the Devils or the Canes, they are going to have a lot of pressure on them game 2. But if you're Carolina and you're the favorite and everyone's picking you and you lose game 1, that pressure is going to be a lot more on them because they're now feeling, you know, all the talking heads, and they were picked by everyone to go out there and go down 2-0. Gem card collecting. Can Paul Cotter be a Jeff Friesen 2.0? I mean, let's not get crazy. Let me just pull this up. But that's kind of, if that's, you know, you can't use, that's unfair to use as an even hopeful, to be honest, because Jeff Friesen had a monster playoff. And if that's the bar you're going to kind of, or the measuring stick, I should say, you're going to measure Cotter on, that's pretty wild. Yeah, 23, wrong tab. On that miraculous Devils run in 2002, 2003, 10 goals, 4 assists, 14 points in 24 games, but they were timely. But I mean, I guess it's not crazy. I thought it was going to be a little more than that, but it's still over half a point a game. It's still a great run. And it was probably like 4th on the team, probably in points. But yeah, Friesen 2.0, sign me up. I don't know the likelihood, but sign me up. Rich Reynolds, we have to put that dog in the underdog and take it to the Hurricanes. Looking for Timo, Dylan, Cotter, and Nason. Need to be smashing everyone. Everyone's going to have to smash everyone, but I agree. Those are obviously the guys that are the most kind of up for the challenge. But everyone's got to be their own junkyard dog, or as junkyard doggy as they can be, because this Hurricanes team is they're going to turn the heat up, and the Devils got to be ready. That forecheck could get scary. That defense is going to have to take some hits to make plays. Who wants it more? This is playoff hockey. This is playoff war. Man, I can't wait. What do we have? It's 11, so yeah, it's about 16 hours away. Wow. We're back, guys. We're back. Robert, I think the Devils' D-core was quietly in the NHL's upper echelon. With the advantage of Markstrom, they are going to be a tougher out than many think. Completely agree. It's a pretty damn good defense with a very good goalie, or at least can be a very good goalie. And that's the main reason why I have faith in the team to win the series. I'm trying to catch up here. I'm super behind. Skimming the comments here. I forgot to bring this up the other day. For the young fans that don't know, hold on. I'm just making sure I got the. I'll see if I can find a better version, but I put the link in the chat. Scott Stevens absolutely crushes Ron Francis in this series. Crushes Ron Francis, and Francis was so knocked out that he got up and fell down several times from where he hit the ice. From where he hit the ice to the bench. I just dropped the link in the chat. I believe that video has all of it. You might be able to poke around and find a better quality one. That one looks like you're watching video from, the dinosaur ages, but that's what we had, folks, 24 years ago. But great clip. I mean, Ron Francis just gets up and just lifeless multiple times, falls before getting to the bench. I mean, talk about demoralizing another team and snatching the soul right from their bodies. Scott Stevens, number 4, the Captain Crunch, one of the most vicious dudes to ever play the game. Scotty would just steamroll guys like that regularly and just take the life right out of their entire team. Ron Francis, check out the video. I dropped it in the chat. Oh, you guys are talking about the Panarin thing. I don't care to talk about that. Alex, I got to convince my 50-50 Ranger Devils family to watch the game tomorrow on Easter. There shouldn't be any convincing. The game's on the television. It's not an option. I just read that one. Ryan, it is. I want the Devils to win the cup. I think we all do, Ryan, except for, I guess, the couple Canes fans that are in here. Paulie says Fitz did well in the offseason, but fell asleep at the wheel during the season. Completely agree. But there's nothing we could do now. No sense in still crying about it. We're in the dance, and we got the soldiers we got. They got to step up now. Yeah, I just saw. Yeah, I'm like super far behind in this chat. Blackwood looks like he's having a decent game. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've been kind of on the move. I haven't been sitting down watching it hardcore. Billy D, Devils will beat the Canes. Don't sweat it. Well, I think we're all going to sweat until it happens. Traveling Devil, it's time for Cotter and Nason to step it up to another level. Nason had a career season. Hopefully has a career playoffs. Also, he needs to be the guy that sits in front of the net constantly. It's his office, the junkyard dog. Did the Avs just score again? I think I missed it. Nason and Cotter, would love to see them both have monster playoffs. Samuel says, can't see Scott Stevens sitting out the last games of a season. I feel like if he ever did, it was like one. It'd be like one game. I really don't, this extended nonsense we've been seeing, that didn't happen back then. That I know. Max, what's up? I'm expecting Paulie Cotter to lay the absolute smackdown tomorrow beyond hyped. Yeah, I mean, he averaged roughly 3 hits a game, I think, and was let's see where he finished. The 2 games he lost really hurt him. He would have finished in the top, I think he would have finished in the top 10, but he probably fell out of it because he obviously lost those 2 games. Oh, that's brutal. Paulie Cotter finishes the season with 245 hits, which is in 11th place. A New Jersey Devils franchise single season record for hits. Paulie Cotter is your hit king. Your New Jersey Devils hit king, Paul Cotter, breaking Coleman's previous record of, I forget what it was, but he beat it like several weeks ago, I believe. So he probably has it beat by a decent margin. Paulie Cotter, hit king. Vic said J-Rob had no business playing in game 82. Yeah, this is why they're all going to talk about sitting guys and where it's justified. Do you think Nicohischier will play any games to the Canes? I think there's a good chance for sure. I think it's all going to come down to, does Brindamour see enough in practices to say that this guy gives me a better chance of winning games than whoever he's going to force out? Select the boy. Seriously, the disrespect towards the Devils is criminal. Yeah, the percentage is pretty low for picks, but again, they did it to themselves. If I was not a Devils fan, I may be kind of saying the same sort of things. We're obviously emotionally attached to it, so it's a little different. And I guess that's why you do see some of the people picking the Devils still, because they probably saw some of what we all saw, maybe not as excited by it as we were at the time, but those games where the Devils did look like a great team, not nearly consistent enough. And Mackenzie Blackwood's 4 minutes and 9 seconds away from picking up his first career postseason win. I told you guys when the trade went down, I did say at the time, I think it was even the first day, but I said, Mackenzie Blackwood will win a cup with the Avs. I just think they're too good. They're going to be too good for, a good amount of time to where he doesn't get at least one of them in his contract there. For Devil, I'm puzzled why so many think NJ possibly can't win because they are missing Jack. Are there that many dense people in the NHL community? Does one person control the team? He's not LeBron. Yeah, but for hockey, if you miss your top guy, a lot of people will write you off for dead immediately. And it just happened, you saw it with the Devils. Obviously, we're not going to do that. But that combined with the fact, be realistic, not only are we without Jack. Wait, did we finish with more points than Montreal? I think we did. I hate the NHL's website with a passion. Yeah, so we were tied with Montreal for the team with the least amount of points in the playoffs. So it's not like they're just bullying us and shitting on us for no reason. We literally finished the season 1-4, which again, a lot of teams did bad, whatever, but it doesn't help your case any. Finished the season 1-4 and go into the playoffs tied with the Canadiens for the lowest amount of points of any team in the playoffs. And so you're clearly going to be the favorite to kind of take the brunt of the abuse from the media. And so, again, they did it to themselves. It's not like they're just picking the 91 points. I mean, tied with the Canadians. What's going on, Evan? Jason, no, the Canes thrive on those second and third chance opportunities. If you watch some of the goals, it's like we had 2 chances for a guy to make a play on the puck and get it out of there, like 2 different times, like 2 horrible whiffs, and then someone blows an assignment. Like, it's just like a series of mistakes leading up to a goal. And like, obviously it's going to happen, but a lot of those goals that they scored against us were just self-inflicted wounds by the Devils with just careless plays or non-plays. Ryan, who cares if Siegs makes it back and we who we taking out? Dumo? Same player basically, and Dumo has been skating. It would be stupid to swap them. Siegs won't be conditioned. No, it's a fair point. I don't think they would throw him in there like the second he was cleared. And I'll be honest, if we won the first round, even if, some people are going to say I'm crazy, but if we won the first round, even if Siegenthaler was healthy, for the stuff Ryan's talking about and, for some other things that I would take into consideration, giving the whole thing, I wouldn't change the lineup at all. If we win the first round, I'm not changing shit. No, no shade to Siegs, but if you're healthy, like, cool, you haven't played in however long it's been, like, we're riding with the guys that got us out of this first round. Nicole, the playoffs demand more physicality, and when we are physical in a game, we tend to play better. I'm ready to see it. I agree as well. Will we see it is the question. Will this team come out there and smash? New Jersey Devils fan 1983. My friend said we get swept, but think we ain't going to my friend said we get swept, but think we ain't going to a game 7 ? I think a game 7 would be in Raleigh would be very difficult for the Devils to win. And so I got the Devs winning in 6. Devs in 6. Samuel, Kane's forecheck is always in your face. Smash that shit, skate, clear, and score. Got to get it out. For Devil, Canes are grinders. There should be zero surprise what type of game they're going to play. No. And Keefe even said something in the past week or so about how, they've been preparing, I guess, for Carolina, like, since it was locked in. So I'm sure there's been a lot of video sessions for everybody, and they are trying to hone in on what they got to do to pull this off. DM Sanks, hey, met Lazar on Thursday at the Turtleback Zoo with his kids. I wished him good luck. I know he'll not be back, though. Really nice guy. Yeah, Lazar's the man. I think there's a chance he could get into some games. We're going to see. We're going to see. If some games don't go well, you might see, guys swapped in and out. Keefe has no shortage of guys to use. I'm trying to catch up here. So, Devils ranked 31 and 31st in scoring 5-on-5 in the last month. No surprise. It probably was a very mediocre standard during the regular season as well. Todd, Canes have a decent first line, but the rest of the team is fourth line grinders. No way we are cup contenders. I mean, have you seen our roster, Todd? It's not exactly mind-blowing. We have some very good top-end guys, but our bottom 6 is very underwhelming. Knowles, Master Ace, what up? Kind of feels like Christmas in July, even though it's April. I'm late to the convo, but I agree. Game 1 is key. Hope they take both. Let's get greedy. Oh, I would love nothing more. To come home up 2-0. I mean, that would just be coming home 2-0. I can't imagine how much more electric the Rock would be for game 3, up 2-0 in the series. Husky Unchained, big day tomorrow, 420 Devils playoffs plus Devils lettuce. Let's go. Yo, that's hilarious. Oh, man. That's pretty funny. For Devil, big day tomorrow. I thought I'd change this. Stars winning the first period. You're playing away. Make them doubt. Yeah, obviously, first goal in this one is going to be huge for the game, and ultimately the series could be. Devils scoring first would be beautiful. Beautiful to see. Just win game one. Oh, man. Yeah, Avs 3-1. Clapped on me. If Markstrom stands on his head, we could win the series. For sure. I'm hoping he only has to straight up steal one game. But he might have to steal multiples. The Francis flop, the new dance craze. Oh, yeah. Did you guys find... Where did I drop the link? Okay, yeah. Clap on me. If Akira Schmid was good against Carolina, maybe Markstrom could get it done for us. Yeah, I don't know. I was pretty mad that even though he won game 3, I never thought Vitek in that game 3 series, I think it was the Devils 8-4 win. We were down 2-0, obviously. Come home game 3. Vitek wins it. We win 8-4. I think it was 8-4. But, like, Vitek didn't look good. I remember telling my friends after that game, like, I want to start Schmid game 4. 1,000% I said that. And then Vitek comes out for game 4, gets lit up, and that's, that was the beginning of the end. But can Markey get it done? Ryan Demand says Tatar and Lazar not in the lineup for the playoffs. Well, at least not for game 1. What? It was a hit indeed. Salem said in today's game, Stevens will be suspended for 5 years. Yeah, Blackwood, guys. He finally got his shit together on another team. I don't even know why I'm going to entertain this. Claps by me. Did you all hear about the Quinn Hughes rumor? What is the Quinn Hughes rumor? Devils have $13 million in cap size, and Quinn Hughes' contract is expiring next July. No, he has 2 more years. I'm not going to talk about this. The Quinn Hughes thing, maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but I think it's just a lot of conjecture and nonsense. Ryan, I live for the Nason junkyard dog bark here. Nason should go out and take a bite out of some of his old teammates. Yeah, hopefully he does. He's got to be a little nasty. And he will be. I know he's going to be crashing the crease. He's going to be looking to get it done down low. And would love to see him scorch his former club. Would love to see it. Ryan, and respect. Thank you, sir. Ace, my man. We all find happiness, joy tomorrow. Stranger things have happened than the possibility of the Devils beating the dirty Candy Canes. For sure. The Canes are a good team, but they're not this dynasty team, right? Very beatable. With Jacob Markstrom in net, I do think this team could do something special. Could really do something special and win this series. But thank you very much, Riot, and respect. Much appreciated. What do we got here? Paulie Wanna says, are we going to see playoff Palat? I certainly hope so. I certainly hope we do. I think there's a lot... if you think about it, there's so many guys that you're like, if this guy could do something, if that guy could do something. And really, it's like, if half of them could do something, if they don't all need to, they're all going to have to play well. But in the end, like, everyone's like, oh, what if Mercer does this and Palat and Nason and Cotter? It's like, if a couple of those guys could get hot, we have a great chance. I'm just pumped, guys. I just can't wait till that puck drops. I'm going to be an absolute basket case watching these games. Yeah, the Shane Willis hit was sick too. Yeah, guys, look that up. I'm not gonna keep digging for these things, but Husky and Shane, John Scott took a giant steaming dump on the Devils in his Eastern Conference playoff preview. I'm not surprised. I haven't seen it, but was it that bad? Samuel, looks like we draft great goalie talent but can't develop them worth a shit. I mean, who else really? I mean, did we draft Wedgwood? I thought we did. But really, how many other... Really, Blackwood's the one that got away, but it's like, if they did give him so long, it is crazy. The Devils drafted him in the 3rd round in, 2010. I knew he was around for a while, but that's way more than I realized. Blackwood, the vet. Yeah, Avs. Selected by my bracket, it'll be Lightning versus Kings in the finals. For those of you that didn't watch the video, I have Lightning over the Avs in the Cup Finals. I lost the page now. I'll find it later. Oh, wait, here it is. Rich Reynolds, can we get a smoke show Devils fan behind our home bench like the Dallas lady with my cup sizes Stanley shirt? I remember that. Wasn't there all kinds of funny, like, funny pictures of Pete DeBoer on the bench with her like right near his head? I think that's what I'm thinking of the right thing. Dire Straits says Avs are going to win the whole thing. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Dwayne Jetski, Ace, you have said that the Devils are not a good team, and you were right every time you said it. I mean, listen, if you're in the playoffs, you're some level of good. Maybe I said the Devils are not a good team. I guess when, using the term good during the season has a little higher bar to qualify as good. Like, I guess when I was talking about they're not a very good team. They're a good team, but they weren't a very good team. And obviously they did have horrible stretches where it looked like we were going to slide out of the playoffs entirely, but they found a way to be consistently not bad enough to get into the playoffs. And I could only hope for the best. If they flip that switch that they've been referencing, look out. Your New Jersey Devils could potentially shock the hockey world and knock out the Carolina Hurricanes in the first round. Selected boy, I hate this playoff schedule, honestly. Not ideal, but it could be worse. I do like weekend games. And as far as the games at the Rock, we ended up with a Friday night and a Sunday afternoon. I think, it could be much worse there as well. The Tuesday 6 p.m. thing is super strange to me. I know they're trying to, squeeze multiple games on the networks and shit, but that's just such a weird time. Yeah, so tomorrow at 3, Tuesday at 6, Game 3 is Friday at 8, Sunday 3. Next Sunday, Game 4 at the Rock at 3:30, and then 5, 6, and 7. Tuesday, April 29th with no announced time. Friday, May 2nd at the Rock would be Game 6, no announced time, and then Sunday, May 4th. So they really like to, keep their options open for the television possibilities. Man, I wouldn't. My heart would not survive a Game 7. It really wouldn't. In Raleigh, oh man, yeah, that would just be. Oof. Selected boy, I've got Jets in 7, Avs in 6, Knights in 5, Kings in 6, Sens in 7, Lightning in 6, Caps in 6. We almost have that. Would you watch my video and copy my bracket, bro? I'm pretty sure those are all my picks. Maybe the game numbers are definitely different, but Jets I picked, Avs I picked, Knights, Kings, Sens, Lightning, Caps. Yeah. Selected boy copied my bracket. Khalil, is Mercer and Nason the only Devils that can score in the net front? I mean, we have other guys that can. Timo could find himself down there burying some stuff too. Mercer's too small to be a net front guy. Samuel, okay, big question. Who are the officials for tomorrow? No one named Rooney, I hope. Oh boy, is that announced yet? Let me see if that's on there. It probably isn't. Well, maybe it is. Not easily. It's not easy to find. No. Well, wait, the referees were. I hate this stupid shit in Google. Oh man. No, I can't easily find it. Todd says, you guys took Nason. He was our only net front guy. Mike K, crazy that Lightning versus Panthers and Avs Stars are first round matchups should be conference finals. Yeah, I think a lot of people would like that better. It's all, I don't know what it's going to take for the league to consider going back to the old format, but I do think it's just so overwhelmingly obvious. And again, I've seen multiple polls that have reflected this, is that the fans overwhelmingly like the old format much better than the current format, because who wouldn't? The current format sucks. Oh yeah, smash the thumbs up for your boy. Hit the like if you haven't already on the night before playoffs live out here. Just counting down the hours until your New Jersey Devils are back in action. Jason, I think Vegas can knock off Avs. Their decor is massive. Anyone's capable of winning. Obviously, the Golden Knights are a very good team as well. Who is going to want it more? And whose goalie is going to steal some games? What were Mac Black's final numbers on the evening? Mac Black, the second star of the game. What do you know? What do you say? What do you do? Mac Black. Why this thing is so stupid? I hate the NHL's website. Mac Black, 23 saves on 24 shots, the second star of the game in the Avalanche win. Traveling Devil, Dylan needs to open the series with a huge hit like he did to Peterka in Prague. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. The heavier, edgier, more violent Devils do reside somewhere. They're still alive. They're just like dormant. They haven't been out to play in a very long time. Can they come out to play for playoff hockey? Richard, the Devils are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde at times. They've been that the entire season. The entire season. Can we get some consistency around here? LJ, playoff Hellebuck is back, 824. He got the dub, though. I caught the end of that one. I saw Connor score at the end there to give him the go-ahead goal, and then they buried the empty net. Winnipeg goes wild. Winnipeg goes wild. Yeah, both of my series winners win game one. Mike K, I would say we need a minimum of 2 wins in the series to not be a total disappointment. Can't lose in 4 or 5. Mike, you ready for this? This might blow your mind. Get ready for it. Newsflash. Losing the series is a total disappointment. Forget 2 wins. Losing the series is a total disappointment. Period. Losing the series is a massive disappointment. Husky, Markstrom and power play goals will be needed for the Devils to win this. Yeah, absolutely. Our 5 versus 5. Little 5-on-5, just inefficient offense. Not enough to get it done throughout the season for big chunks there. Got to make the most of your power play opportunities and hopefully, win a game or 2 with the man advantage. Samuel would take a game 7 on the road. We suck at home. I don't know, man. Game 7s, though, that's wild stuff. Rich, the chip out high flip from our end against the heavy forecheck is going to be crucial. Yeah. Don't get pinned in. Don't make horrible passes up the middle to opposing snipers. We've seen some bad ones this year. Gonna have to take some hits to make plays. Clap by me. Markstrom just needs to keep up with the Canes. He's going to be under fire at times, I believe, and I think he's going to stand on his head. Select boy, my bracket was based on 3 factors: regular season play, their weaknesses, and injuries. And you copied my bracket. Just stop lying. Oh, man. Jason, no, they're never going back to the old format. I wouldn't say that. If somehow someone can convince them that they make more money with the old format, then I think they're all for it. They're not immune to influence by data and analytics. So all it takes is for some data and analytics department to be like, oh, if you did this, that, and the other thing and the old format and blah, 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 and somehow you would make more money, I think they might do it. For Dev, I'd love it if we could figure out how to tip pucks, especially with Dougie's bomb back. Yeah. Even wristers from other guys. Wristers are a nice little deflectable shot as well. They don't even have to be bombs. Just get traffic in front, wave your stick around, get it on the ice, whatever you want to do, and look for rebounds or deflections in front. Other teams have done it successfully against the Devils all year long. Ryan Demand, Scumbag Rooney is actually one of the 22 refs choosing to work the NHL playoffs. Yeah, he's a veteran ref. He's always going to be selected for the playoffs until he retires. For sure. There's, a lot of the refs don't get the playoff work. Rooney's going to be one of the ones that does get it. I hope he never refs any Devils games. I don't think we're gonna get that lucky. It's inevitable that we're gonna have to get him at some point. Jason, no, the one thing they don't consistently do is score. That's my biggest worry. It's true. It's true, but you just got to score one more than the other team. Only give up, 1 or 2, and you only need 2 or 3 to win. Very manageable if the defense and Markey hold it down. I can't believe this, guys. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're just closing in. Your New Jersey Devils' triumphant return to the postseason. The Stanley Cup playoffs are here. And is this team going to play like the entire world is saying they're going to? Or is this team going to rise to the occasion and take out a long-term foe in the Carolina Hurricanes and get some retribution for the great Martin Brodeur and Zach Parise and, all the other guys that suffered a horrific loss? Jamie Langenbrunner, any of the guys on any of those teams that suffered a terrible loss at the hands of this franchise in years where I do believe the Devils had great potential to go on a run, but they ran into Carolina. On the flip side, there was tons of teams over the years that the Devils eliminated somewhat regularly that could have prevented them going on a run. A lot of good teams that Dynasty Devils teams were beating over the years. That 2000 Flyers team that had us down 3-1 and we won in Game 7. I think there's definitely a chance that Flyers team could have beat the Stars for the Cup, but we snuffed them out. They didn't have the opportunity. That 2000 New Jersey Devils club, how special that group was. Shoots, my body is ready. Not even going to sleep. Going to binge hype videos until my eyes bleed. I've seen a couple out there. Traveling Devil, old format or new, the first round has a lot of great matchups. Absolutely. I think this is going to be a great playoffs. But like someone said earlier, there's a lot of them where you're like, ooh, I wish we could have seen that in the conference finals maybe. But it is what it is. There's going to be, some great hockey over the next couple months. Jason, we need more guys who are physical enough to get net front to tip pucks. You don't even have to be that physical to tip pucks. Obviously, if you're physical, that's another element added. But in the end, like, just get in position. Get there. We're just going to need guys to go all out everywhere. It's going to be crazy. Husky, I just want to see the leaves fall apart to watch Dangle's reactions. I would love nothing more than for my man Brady to snuff the life out of them in the first round. Jason, especially in the playoffs, that part of the ice is a war. Yeah, but, you can't do what you used to be able to. Guys are routinely parked in front of Markey. You don't have to be a monster to do it because guys can't touch you that much. The stuff that you could get away with now in front of the net is wild as an attacking forward. Jason, 2 goals ain't going to be enough every night. Oh, for sure. For sure, but you're hoping that 3 is. Can you win 3-2, 3-1? Rich, who has the biggest opportunity to break out? I'm looking at Sprong to show up and finish some of those chances he always seems to get. I mean, if you're talking about breakout, I guess you mean like more of like or kind of an unexpected hero kind of guy. You're not going to count like a Timo or a Bratt in there. I still think, unless you're counting him as an expected guy, is Nason. Nason's kind of like my dark horse to have a big series. Traveling Devil, there's no way I'm hoping they come out and play like shit. If they think they're going anywhere playing the way they did during the second half of the season, they're in for a rude awakening. Well, that's, again, Traveling Devil. They have the magical switch exists. They kind of referred to it, maybe not by name, but, they've kind of alluded to the existence of this switch where these games don't matter. They're meaningless. So, our work here is done. We're prepping for Carolina. Now Carolina's here. Are you going to flip the switch? Is the switch there? Are we going to go out there and win these games after flipping the switch? I certainly hope so. But it starts with physicality, and there's going to have to be a lot of, unsung heroes along the way. Husky and Chance, like Christmas Eve ace, let's not get coal in our stocking. Coal in our stocking would be awful. It would actually be worse than getting coal in our stockings as a child, actually. Because, that would have sucked, but I would shake it off fairly easily, I think, compared to the Devils just playing like garbage tomorrow, the equivalent. Oof. Chase, my man Brogan, live during WrestleMania. How dare you, Ace? Chase, you're hilarious. Yeah, were you sitting in an airport or something? Shout out to Chase Brogan, tech wrestling guru. Check out his multiple channels. But out there for WrestleMania, and obviously, I gave up wrestling about, when normal people do, like when I was 15. No offense to any that watch wrestling as adults. I mean, obviously you have some sort of issue, but if you have kids, you get a pass. If you don't have kids, I question your life choices. But either way, Chase, I gave up the wrestling, and I knew this was WrestleMania week, and I forgot that it's a 2-day thing, right? Didn't that always used to be on Sundays? But now I guess they're doing multiple days. Money, money, money. Must be nice. Printing money. Oh, printing that cashish by the truckload. WWE. Dire Wolf Ace, would upsetting the Canes with no Jack make up for 09? It would for me. No, man. No, it wouldn't. No. Winning the cup would make up for it. Your bar is very low. Does it? I'm not even going to say it eases. It doesn't ease the sting. It just, if you get punched in the face and then you punch someone else in the face afterwards, the same person that hit you, you punch them back. It's like your nose might hurt just as much, but you landed a punch on them. That's kind of what it is. There's no going back. I did think that 09 team had some potential. I believe, honestly, most of the teams that Marty played on, I guess till the very end, and at the very end, it proved to be correct, was that Marty was capable of bringing any of those teams on a cup run. And you saw it in 2012. And so I didn't really feel any different in 09. I'm like, Marty's going to bring us to another cup finals. That was the season he obviously broke the all-time NHL all-time wins record. He passed Patrick Roy's 551. He got 552 at home. And so to lose in the playoffs after the whole 552 excitement, and that he did that in March. And so the playoffs were like, a month later. So to be coming off that high of 552, Marty's the, all-time wins king. And then to lose a game 7 after we had a 3-2 series lead, right? So it's like you had a 3-2 lead, you blew game 6, and then you come home for game 7, and then not only lose it in the fashion they did in the final minute and a half of a game that you're leading to advance to the second round. I mean, it's just no. So Dire Wolf, I went on a tangent there, but absolutely not. Would beating this Canes team make up? There is no making up for it. The only thing you could do is inflict some damage back. Winning a cup would almost make up for it, though. Winning a cup. Just beating the Canes, no. Winning the cup eases all pains. Paulie, Dougie being back should give the struggling offense a boost. Yeah, I think he's going to – it doesn't say – Keith didn't want to tip his cap, but I think he's going to keep Luke on power play 1 and have Dougie on power play 2. But who knows? I feel like with something like that in the playoffs with Dougie coming back, Luke may only be a few kind of bad-looking power plays away from getting knocked down to power play 2 if Keith thinks Dougie's going to, provide a better option for power play 1. Rip Rogers, Smokey Johnson, let's go Devils. A few times there. Celebrated Easter today, all good to go for tomorrow. And don't have any young family members that'll be around to hear me curse out these Canes. I like it. Who would have thought so many people celebrating Easter would be celebrating the Devils as well on the same day? Isn't that something? Joshua says Devils in 7. I'll take Devils in any game it happens in. For Devil, what players actually have a switch? I feel guys like Bratt can turn up, but Lazar, Tatar, Haller are on gas all the time. Well, I don't think anyone's counting on. I mean, listen, you're just hoping everyone gets playoff adrenaline, and a lot of guys will. How much of a difference it's going to make, I don't know. We're going to find out. But we're going to need we're going to need everybody to turn it up. And I think the playoffs do that. You know, it's like second nature. Now, the severity of which they get turned up, that's going to be the question. But I want to see Timo out there just crushing people. Chase, yes, sir. Haven't seen a match. Why do you lie, bro? This guy pretends he doesn't watch every single match and get all the magazines to his house. I know exactly what you do, Chase. Please. I think the bracket might be closed. But I'll send it anyway. Oh, it's in the, there's a bracket video. The info's in the description of the bracket video. Jason, no, I'm actually surprised how many people watch WWE. It's still massive. I am a little bit as well, but you know what? I mean, you know, while society has changed a ton over the past, 50 years, 60 years, however long wrestling's been going on, in the end, it doesn't change to the point where this is still not going to be wildly entertaining for kids. And then obviously some of those adults, and I'm using the term adults very loosely. Obviously, these guys got action figures and plastic belts on the shelves of their home. I suppose hockey equipment's not much better, but at least it's not plastic belts. All right, guys, this is shit that belongs in the Hall of Fame. But WWE is a massive business, sports entertainment, and they sell a lot of tickets. They sell a lot of pay-per-views, and they obviously sell a ton of merch. Huge business, professional wrestling. I like I said, I gave it up years ago, but when I was a kid, I did love watching that, attitude era of the WWF with all those legends, The Rock and Stone Cold, Undertaker, DX, all the old school guys. Direwolf, the Canes wouldn't be able to say much about us if we win with no Jack. No, they wouldn't be able to say anything. Jason, no, I had no idea what the hell turning heel meant, but there's that's all you heard a few weeks ago. Oh, that must have been with the thing with, was it The Rock and Cena, I think? Man, that's pretty funny. Yeah, it's wrestling jargon, Jason. Now they have a lot of their own terminology and jargon. Davis, Hall is the Canes' good luck charm. Hey, anyone see the picture of, I think it's like is it a bracelet or beaded bracelet someone made for Hall? It says some funny stuff on it. Khalil, I mean, the Devils scoring first doesn't mean anything. They can't keep a lead. Oh, Khalil. I forget if you wrote something silly like this earlier as well. I can't remember. But let's hope they keep a lead. Ryan Demand, why is Chase Brogan's name bold and have a check mark by it? I imagine because, he's a big shot YouTube guy that probably has something to do with it, I would think. I don't know. I'm just a YouTube pigeon. I can't see it because the program I'm in looks different than what you guys are looking at. But yeah, check out Chase's channel. He's a big deal. So I guess that's why he has a check mark and whatever else you see that's different. He does a lot of cool tech and wrestling stuff. I dropped the link in the chat to Chase's channel. Never seen that before. Yeah, I think it's just because he has I guess maybe it's for the YouTube plaque crew. The 100K plaque plus people get the special, whatever you want to call it. Jason, no, I can't get past the not real part. About wrestling. I forgot what we were talking about. I mean, yeah, the funny part is, as a kid, I never thought that it was real. At all. I thought it was just so, even as a child, I thought it was like so obviously, acting entertainment. And I remember fighting other kids that were like swearing it was real. And I remember being like, what is wrong with you? You think this character is a real person and these guys are really hitting each other with ladders? Come on, man. Be smarter than that. I know you're only, 8 years old, but shit. Jay Snow, imagine going to an MMA fight. They know who's going to win. No, totally different. Totally different. Paulie Walnuts, how the hell are 88 watching and only 42 likes? Man, people are stingy, huh? Can you guys hit the thumbs up for your boy? Shit. Just out here on playoff eve, and you guys are being stingy with the click. Click the button. No joke. I thought turning heel was like a heel hook. It's pretty funny. Khalil, you don't have to be super confident, but don't be so negative. Let's see if they can hold the lead. Let's see if they can score first. Bonzo, Devils will blow a late lead, then win in overtime. As long as they win, but watching them blow a lead would suck. Traveling Devils, they still throw brow sweat on fans. Ravishing Rick Rude was the best. I stopped watching when he left. That's before my time. Wow. We're almost there, guys. What a time to be alive. Your New Jersey Devils heading into the postseason after a season last year that was just so sad, where we failed to qualify for the tournament. The Devils are back. Minus Jack Hughes, but the Devils are back in the tournament. And hoping they're going to get it done. I'm super fired up. Good luck to everyone that did the bracket challenge. I haven't really looked at the... can you see other people's brackets, actually? I don't even know how this works. I just made the freaking league here. I don't think I can see the brackets. Interesting. Very interesting. Ryan Demand, time to get revenge on the Canes. And Marky, we trust. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Jason, no, we need to put Jack on LTI right before March to save him for the playoffs, man. Yeah, the Jack thing is kind of troublesome a little bit. Hopefully this last one he suffered is the last one and we don't see it anymore, but it's pretty troubling. Oh, sorry, it was Marky, we trust. Husky Ace, opinion on the lines going into the playoffs. I'm not surprised. It's kind of what I thought. I wasn't sure who was going to get the, that 4C spot, whether it was going to be Laser or Dowling. I thought there was a chance you could have seen Lazar there. But yeah, in the end, top line of Nason, Nico, and Bratter. Second line, Halla, Mercer, Timo. Third line, Cotter, Glass, Sprong, which I'm no surprise. And then the fourth line, Palat, Dowling, and Bastion. These are the dogs we're going in with. Good for Dowling, though. You know what? I mean, listen, he worked hard all year. Did he score a ton of points? No. But again, he's not a liability out there. And he fought his way onto a playoff roster. I mean, good for him. Tuna's probably so pissed. I feel bad for Tuna. It's a tough decisions there for Keefe to keep Tuna out over some of these guys. But if someone slips up or, he doesn't like something he sees, you may see Tatar get in there. David, I'm sure this was mentioned already. I'm here late, but how about Blackwood tonight? He looked big time. Booze face went with VTech instead of him and only got a 5th-round pick when he dealt him. As much as I like to point out a lot of Fitzgerald's snafus, it's hard for me to call that one of them. I mean, it's easy with hindsight to go back and play that game, but I do think it's unfair because I do think the organization was super patient with him and with the injuries and inconsistencies. And listen, I defended Blackwood for a very long time, for multiple seasons, to a lot of my Devils fan friends that wanted him sent to the moon years before we dealt him. And I said, I don't know if you're watching, you're seeing the flashes of greatness here, but it seems like there are games where he looks great and the consistency was the issue. It's like if he could play like that every game, he could be a great goalie for this team. He had the multiple injuries. It never panned out. And so he had a pit stop in San Jose. So it's not like he was this unbelievable goalie, the next day after the Devils dealt him. There was some time in between and a lot more development, and he proved his value in San Jose. He had some decent numbers on bad Sharks teams, and Colorado decided this year they were going to completely replace their tandem. They went out there, got two former Devils, Blackwood and Wedgwood, and here they are in the dance, and Blackwood looked good. Second star of the game tonight, 23 saves on 24 shots. Good for him. I'm not surprised at all. And I did say when he got dealt to the Avalanche, I do expect him to win a cup there at some point. Maybe not this year, but I said I do believe he wins a cup in Colorado because I do believe they are built to contend for quite a while, and they have some obviously amazing high-end talent and two of the best players in the league in Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon. Andrew, I remember I'd fight my friends debating that a wrestler using a sock snake as an attack wasn't real. Oh, man. Rip Rogers, Smokey Johnson. Watching wrestling is like watching a movie or TV show. No different, just watching live stunts. That's what I'm with you, Ace. Attitude Era was the good stuff. Current stuff doesn't even come close. I wouldn't know, but I just couldn't imagine that it would. I mean, the stuff that went down. Stone Cold driving the Zamboni into the ring, and then he had the beer truck, and he hosed everybody down. I mean, throwing cars off of bridges. I mean, the stuff that they did. Plot looks as of right now, looks like he's going to be a fourth liner. Obviously, he could be a guy that kind of bounces around at points as well if Keefe wants to see different looks. But it seems like he's going to start on the fourth line. Ryan Demand, playoff plot, better show up big time. I hope so. Todd, good night. Take care. Let's go Devils. Screw the Canes. Khalil's Mercer a long-term Devil. Well, he has 3 more years on his deal after the. Or was his deal 3 years? I think it was a 3-year deal. So yeah, he'd have 2 years after this. 2 years after this. I don't know. I think there's, I think this playoffs and the next 2 seasons will determine if he's a long-term Devil or not. I think it's totally situational, and there's a lot of variables at play. I'd like to see him be a long-term Devil, but I could definitely see a scenario where he's not as well. Jason, Burns actually came to the league as a forward. Oh, yeah, what a beast that guy was. Ryan, only hours left. Can the Devils win the Stanley Cup? I have full trust if the Devils win the Stanley Cup, it'll be the greatest achievement in Devils history since, I guess you probably meant 1995 and 03. You're missing 2000 as well. Jason, Nate just looks like a stud. I thought we were going to sign him in the offseason. What a move that would have been. Yeah, I think because he signed for a relatively low price now, considering what he might be worth. Let me see. Yeah, 6.5. That was a nice deal. Jason, Carolina messed up big time losing Gensel, Natchez. Then they go and trade and lose Ranton in the same season. But here they are. Here they are with a chance to win the Stanley. Just like your New Jersey Devils, one way or another, they got here. And they're looking to win another one. God, I hate them so much. I hate them so much. With a passion. Would love to see Mercer explode in the playoffs. It'd be beautiful for Mercer to explode in the playoffs. Would love to see it. Jason knows that Carolina's not winning a cup this year. Well, I don't think so either, because I think they're getting knocked out in the first round. But I'd love to see the Devils pull a surprise one. Get that surprise cup. Anyone got anything else? I'm winding down here. I'm going to try to force myself to sleep, but honestly, I'm jacked up. I'm not even going to lie. When I get off of here, I'm probably just going to go down the rabbit hole of watching all the stuff I didn't watch yet. Yeah, both my picks won tonight for the first round. Both of my picks. Okay, so next year, Carolina has a ton of cap space. In my bracket, I have the Canes knocking us out in 5, I think. How dare you? How dare you? Cleo, why the Devils can't get the great forward, the Canes get better forward than the Devils. Well, Devils didn't have a lot of cap space either until obviously all the LTIR money accumulated. But the award for the best actress goes to Marty Natchez. World's worst gamer. I'm more upset than excited about hockey on Sunday. I hate afternoon games. I'm just so jacked up that I just didn't. At this point, to me, it's almost irrelevant what time it is. Like, clear the docket. New Jersey Devils playoff hockey is here. I know lots of people would have preferred the night, but like that would have been longer to wait, honestly. A 3:30 game is, 4 hours earlier than a 7:30 game. By the way, the announcing of tonight's hockey games are awful. Anyone find it bad? I wasn't really paying attention to the audio, especially the second game. Wow, it's already. Matt, I'm missing game 3 for a Yankees game I'm going to. That is just unforgivable, man. How are you going to go to a Yankees game over watching? How are you going to miss a Devils playoff game to go to a Yankee game in the first month of the season? It's not like you're missing a Devils playoff game for a Yankees playoff game. You're talking about regular season? Come on now. That's absurd. That's absurd. All right, guys, that's it. It's 12:15. I mean, it's not that late, but it's kind of late. The thing is, I just have so much adrenaline right now. I really don't think I'm going to be going to sleep anytime soon. This is bad. I think I'm wide awake. I'm going to be down the rabbit hole of watching any single thing I could find that I haven't seen already. Just any sort of new anything. Talking about. Oh, man. We need Timo time. Big time is right, Ryan. I want to see Timo crush dudes. I want to see punishing hits. I want to see, oh, man, people throwing out, Traveling Devil throwing out a prediction. Traveling Devils has 5-3 Devils. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring, but it could. Anything could happen. But, guys, playoff hockey is back. It'll be back at the Rock on Friday. I will be in the building, waving my towel, screaming my face off like a maniac as your New Jersey Devils hopefully have I would love to have a 2-0 series lead at that point at the Rock, swinging my towel pregame with a 2-0 series lead. Oh, my God. How good would that feel? A 2-0 lead going into game 3. Let's go. I'll do this all day. 1-1 is even amazing. Come on. 1-1. I'll sign up for that. I would love 2-0. Would absolutely love 2-0. Husky Unchained, I'm drinking myself to sleep. World's worst gamer for sure. We got to destroy Gostis Bear. Dump the puck on his side every single time. He needs to be a turnover machine. Press from every single time. And there's going to be Kane's doing the same to some Devils D-men. Wow, that's pretty weak for. I want to see Devils set the pace early. I think that's a massive thing. Come out, set the tone. Proactive versus reactive. Don't let them punch you in the mouth first. You punch them in the mouth first. Punch them in the mouth first and force them to respond. Make it a dogfight. Cody says Devils win, but barely. 3-2 in OT. Oh, my God. I can't take my heart. Traveling Devils, 60 minutes, please, for sure. Need a complete effort. Hopefully it's only 60 minutes, and hopefully we don't see overtime, as Cody's talking about. But, wow. Overtime playoff games, that's the pinnacle of heart attack-inducing stuff. It's not good for my health in this advanced age. Win in regulation, please. But again, I will sign up for an overtime win, no doubt. But the reality is the strain of that on the mental and physical well-being of the fan base. Jeff, I want to see NJD advance and Maple Leafs out round one for the meltdown in Toronto. That would be a great combination. And believe it or not, is a combination that your boy Ace has picked to happen in his bracket. I have Toronto out in the first round, and I have your New Jersey Devils advancing to the second round. All right, that's it, guys. I'm done. I'm super jacked. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. If you haven't seen some of the other videos I put out recently, check those out. I have one on my bracket. Shout out to those of you that saw it in time and did the bracket challenge. A little contest with some prizes with that. I did my, Devils Hurricanes preview and prediction video. If you haven't seen that, check that out. Obviously, a lot of it I probably talked about here tonight, but there's other stuff on there as well. And that's it. Check out the vlogs if you're into that. Wow, this really is like the night before Christmas, though. Ooh. Is it going to be that shiny bike under the tree, or is it going to be lumps of coal in the old stocking? What is this team going to deliver to the fans tomorrow? Again, happy Passover, happy Easter, happy whatever it is you may or may not be celebrating. Wow, guys, I'm just going to go down the content consumption hole now when I sign off here until I fall asleep, which may not be forever at this point. Just, this is the night before the playoffs. I'm fired up. But, wow. I will be back, obviously, with the post game. Because of the holiday and I'm running around tomorrow, I'm not going to do a pregame. We're just coming in with that post game live, folks. Hopefully, we will be celebrating with victory drinks, not loser beverages. And I'll see some of you tomorrow after the game, looking for that massive New Jersey Devils win. But, yeah, hit the thumbs up. That's it. I'm done. I'm spent. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.